Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises and glory belongeth to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Waharakah Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahawashi. And I want to give a double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth well and that continue to teach this truth well, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning across the globe. Okay, and giving full diligence and pushing this truth in full sincerity. Okay, making their calling and election sure. I want to start off on Psalms 2, and we're going to go straight to 8. It says, ask of me, of Yahawashi. That's who we ask of. And ask him what is supplication, prayer. And that's what we do on a daily basis. And I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. So who's the heathen? The other nations. And they're going to be given for us as an inheritance. The heathen are going to be our inheritance. What's the inheritance? Inheritance is something of worth. Something that you rule over. Something that you own. So the heathen, we're going to own them. We're going to own the heathen. We're going to own these other nations. Okay? And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Okay? So we're also going to own this earth, because the scriptures say in 2 Ezra 16, I think it's 6 and 54, the earth was made for what? For our sakes. Okay? Verse 9, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. So what does it mean, break them? Beat them. Okay, into submission with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Just like a pottery, any pottery, some glass, some pottery, you smash it on the floor. This is how these other nations are going to be dealt with if they're not obedient to us. Spare me just a minute, because certain pages of Revelations are missing from my book, from the Bible. So like here, quickly grab Revelations. Let me see if I got Revelations 2. Revelations, is it Revelations 2 and 15? 2 and 26. So this is Revelations 2. Let's start at 2 and 25. But that which you have already, hold fast till I come. We're supposed to hold fast unto this word until Yahawashi comes. Hold fast. You're holding something fast. You're holding it tight. Okay? You're holding this truth. This should be the main thing. Nothing else should come before Yahawashi. Nothing. And he that overcometh, and this Yahawashi is speaking, and keepeth my works unto the end. And you notice that key word, keepeth my works unto the end. So once according to this truth, you have to continue in the works. Some men believe otherwise. No, you have to continue in the works of Yahawashi. So he that keep my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So those that are going to be given power over the nations, within the nation of Israel, those that held fast, those that kept the work of Yahawashi to the end, they're going to be given power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. This beginning with Yahawashi. Then King David, then the rest of the apostles. We're going to be ruling them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. That's what we're going to do. We're going to break these nations. You know it says rod with iron. What's a rod? A rod, a shepherd also uses a rod to guide his sheep. Okay. You may prod them on the side so they stay in order, stay in line. Okay. So iron, that's what a rod of iron is used for. Okay. And that's what we're going to do with these other nations. A rod of iron is also known as a truncheon. Okay. And it's all, that rod of iron is actually a scepter. So we're going to have scepters in our hands and beating these other nations if they don't submit. And that's what a king has. That's what a joint inheritor has. Bear me just a minute. Let's go into Romans. It's going to flow. It's going to flow with the Spirit. Haven't written nothing down. Is it Romans or 9? Give me just a minute. Romans 8, and we're going to go straight to 16. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Okay, what? The Spirit of these scriptures, it bears witness with our spirit. It resonates with us. Okay, that's why we take to this truth so like a baby to what? Milk. We take to this truth as the same. Okay, the Spirit itself beareth witness that our spirit, we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs. What's heirs? Joint inheritors. And that's what we are. We're joint, was Lord willing, in the kingdom. We're going to be joint inheritors with Yahweh Shai. We're going to be ruling with him. Okay? We're going to be ruling over these nations with Yahweh Shai. Excuse me. Heirs of the Most High and joint heirs. What's a joint heir? Go into these words. Let's look up these words, Baba Kashaf. Because that great millstone, we look up our words. Okay. Let's get the blue letter on deck. It's lucky. I should have got this start. I usually get this sorted before I start a lesson. I'm going to go into that one. Joint hairs. You know what? Put hairs instead and see what comes up. Which I know what it means, but I always do this just so brothers and sisters, it may be your first time listening, so you get a better understanding. The scriptures do say prove all things. Bear me just a minute. See if we can get this up. Okay. One who... Alright, let's type it in the Greek.
Strong's G 2818. Kleronamos.
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 Kleronamos. Okay. Getting by apportionment. Outline biblical usage. One who receives by lot. And here. Okay. In the Masonic usage, one who receives his allotted possession by right of sonship. Just like if you have a father, what does that father do? Well, Esau, you see what Esau does? Because Esau, what's he got? Something old money. Okay, money from our forefathers. And what does he do? Pass that down to his children. Okay. One who has acquired or obtained a portion allotted to him. So, Yahweh Shai, what are we to him? Also known as what? Joint heirs. So that's what he's going to pass down. That inheritance, which is rulership. But even more better than that, we're going to be ruling with him. Getting a portion, a sharer by lot, inheritor. Literally or figuratively, a possessor, a heir. So we went into what it is. Receive the blessings. Christians as exalted by faith, dignity of the sons of Abraham, sons of the Most High. Hence to receive blessings of the Most High's kingdom promised to Abraham, because that promise, it never left. Okay, that promise that was promised to Abraham, it never left. Okay, it always stands. So where was we? Well, back in Romans 8 and 17. And heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him. That's why we're suffering. Because look, do you just think you're just going to be given the kingdom? No, in order to gain the kingdom, we have to suffer. The scriptures say that in Acts, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So we're going through all these different tribulations. But in the end, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Lord willing, you're in the kingdom that first go around. It's all going to be worth it. You're going to be like, man, it wasn't so bad. Okay, let's go. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. So that's how you're glorified, through the suffering. A lot of men, they want to come into the truth, but they don't want to go through the suffering. But they want to gain all the spiritual wisdom, but they don't want to go through the suffering. It doesn't work like that. Verse 18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared. We can't even compare what we're going through now with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Okay? This is going to be an eternal weight of glory. We're going to be changed. We're not going to be in these bodies I'm not going to be fighting this flesh anymore. I'm not going to be fighting this flesh anymore. I'm going to be perfect. Okay? For the creature was made subject to vanity. The creature, what? Us, which goes into creation, was subject to vanity. So those that are thinking they're holier than thou, read this again. For the creature was subject to vanity. So in this flesh was subject to vanity. Is that excuse? Is that an excuse to do wickedly? No, it's not. But the scripture says we are subject to vanity. This flesh is vanity. This ring that I got on is vanity. This jacket that I got on is vanity. This device that I'm doing this video on is vanity. We were subject to vanity, subject to it, given unto vanity. This flesh, as long as you're in this flesh, you're subject to vanity. And this is why I don't get in that spirit of, oh, you're a sinner. Yeah, yours. So what are you? Yeah, we're sinners, but we acknowledge through Yahweh Shai, and we trust in Yahweh Shai, that all our sins are done away with. We have a clean slate in Yahweh Shai. This is what individuals don't understand. This is what individuals don't understand. And what I see in this truth is that men are acting like they've never, ever went off. But you know what's eventually going to happen to these men? Something's going to happen where you're going to find out that these men are very, very wicked. Because they're the ones you got to watch out for. Okay? They're the ones you got to watch out for. Those that act like they're holier than thou. They're dangerous. Because they're the most wicked individuals. Okay? Matthew 23. Read Matthew 23. Read the whole of that chapter. And it will give you a more clear synopsis, if I'm saying that right word, if I'm pronouncing it right, of how wicked them Pharisees were. They thought they were so righteous. How can you be righteous but you deny Yahweh Shai? That means you're wicked. These words are not in you. You're of the devil. It's lucky. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. What's that manifestation? The change, new bodies. Let's read that again, verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly. So, what you got to understand, I'm speaking about the hopeful elect. The people in the world, they're just going to do what they want to do because they don't understand. They don't think there's any consequences. But the men of the Lord, okay, it says they are subject to vanity, not willingly. If you just willingly Yahweh Shai knows your mind. If you just willingly want to go off, then Yahweh Shai knows that. So, no man of the Lord, true man of the Lord, you ain't going to have fun going off. You ain't going to have fun. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the difference between us, the hopeful elect, and those that are in the world. The people in the world, they eat pork, they do what they want, they revel, commit adultery, they do what they want, and there's no thought about it. The men of the Lord, when we slip or fall, we think about that. Okay? And other individuals in this truth, they act like they're holier than thou, and that's a spirit I cannot stand. Because you're not. You're not. It's just certain men are more open about things, and certain men are just more sweep it under the rug. And that's it. Okay? But the men that are more open about it, Yahweh Shai is dealing with them. Because they're what? They're sorrowful. The Pharisees in Matthew 23, they weren't sorrowful. They were trying to establish their own righteousness. But they never had it. They never had it. It was all outward. It was all outward. And if you need to do that outwardly, that means you're not a righteous man. You're wicked. Okay? And who cares about views? Who cares about it? That doesn't matter. It's all about Yahweh Shai. Is he pleased with you? That's all that matters. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. So it says, by reason of him, Yahweh Shai, who have subjected the same in hope. And that's why we always say hopeful elect. because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption. Bondage of corruption. What's that? This flesh, the chains of darkness, as it mentions in Peter, that were reserved unto judgment, unto the day of judgment, unto ungodly men. Delivered from bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. So that's what we're waiting for, to be delivered from the bondage of this flesh. Okay. Verse 22, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. So the whole creation's groaning. So you can also equate that to all the other nations. They're even groaning. Because they may not be awake as in terms of the truth, but they even know something is wrong. The whole energy of this earth is it's wicked. And the hopeful elect, their spirit is groaning to get out of here. Okay? We're looking for a new kingdom. Oh man. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. The hopeful elect, Lord willing, the first fruits of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves. Okay, and groan is like a sigh. You know, it could be of anguish, it could be of pain. It could be of, anger, just certain different things. Waiting for the adoption to with the redemption of our body, new bodies, because not even this body is going to go into the kingdom of heaven. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. One of my favorite scriptures, because if you could see it, then you wouldn't need there'd be no need to hope for that. Okay, see, the people of this world, what you're going to realize is they need to see to believe. And is there still levels? Because a man, his faith may be not quite there where he needs to see to believe. There was who was that disciple? Was it Philip? Was it Philip? Was it Philip or Thomas? One of them needed to see or touch the body of Yahushua. Let me see if I can find it. Bear me just a minute. This lesson went a complete different way as I didn't expect it to. Bear me just a minute. But that's how the Spirit is. Lest I see his body. Bear me just a minute. Because, yeah, you know what? The people of this world, their main MO is seeing to believe. Let me see if I can find it. I believe it's John 20 and 25. Let's quickly go to that. John 20 and 25. Come on now. John 20. And 25. Okay, John 20 and 24. But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahushua came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord Yahushua. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands. Okay, and when people mention Thomas, they have that phrase, doubting Thomas. Oh, you may say that, but if I was you, I'd be careful what you say, because Thomas was of the elect. So yeah, he was doubtful. Okay, and there's a brother, I'm not going to put his name out there. Okay, but there's a brother in the truth. You never know, he may be Thomas back here, because he's very doubtful. But again, see, there's levels to the truth. If you see a brother still pushing, but he may be a bit, that's his spirit, then you can't completely write him off. Okay. And the other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord Yahushua. But he said unto them, except I shall see his hands. Okay. And the print of his nails. I put my finger into the print of the nails, the holes where he was pierced. And put my finger into the print of his nails and thrust my hand into his side. Okay. So those three things. See his hands. Put your hand in the print of his the hole of that where he's the nail was. And thrust my hand through his side where he was pierced, I will not believe. So there's always been different levels of faith. Brothers that had more faith and brothers that had less faith. And after 8 days again, his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Because remember the first time Thomas was not there. Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst and said, "Peace be unto you." In other words, shalom unto you. Okay. Then say he to Thomas, "Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thine hand, and thrust it into my sides, and be not faithless, but believing." So Yahushua was reassuring Thomas. Okay, letting him know, be believing, believe when you do it, don't doubt. And many other signs truly did Yahushua in the presence of these disciples, which are not written in this book. So there was many miracles that Yahushua was doing that are not even written in the book. But these things are written that you might believe that Yahushua is the Mashiach, the anointed, the Son of the Most High, the Messiah, and that believing you might have life through his name. So what Yahushua, what he made his appearance the second time, just for Thomas to believe. And yeah, Thomas did believe. He thrust his hand into his side, and he done many miracles, but it doesn't tell you what miracles he was doing. Let's go back to Romans. Bear me just a minute. This is interesting. Bear me just a minute. Okay. Back to Romans. Romans 8. And where was we? We were on 24. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. Because the people are always looking for what they see. Okay. But again, Thomas needed to see it, but he was of the elect. That's the difference. Okay. And he wasn't faithless. He believed. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? So what you see, why are you going to hope for it if you already see it? Because then it wouldn't be classed as hope. Then you wouldn't need that faith. That faith wouldn't need to be exercised if you just knew. And this is what separates those from those that believe and those that don't believe. We believe something that we cannot see. In the eyes of the world, that's insane. That's mad. Okay? The eyes see how the world sees it is that they will see us as bugged out, but how we look at the world are bugged out. We're not bugged out. The world are bugged out. You understand what I'm saying? We believe in this truth. I believe in this truth. I believe in Yahushua. I know he's here. His spirit is here. His spirit is dealing with the men on earth as well. Certain men on earth. Okay? For what a man seeth, why do we yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Okay? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. So we're hoping for what we see not. We're hoping for what we see not. But we're waiting for it. We'll wait. Man. It's not long now. There's not long. I don't. Another 4 years. No way. Look. It's still in Yahushua's hand, but I'm thinking, look. Maybe 2 years or 1 year. But don't take my word for it, because you've got men that will do that. So you said that a year ago, but see, that's the expectation. What's your expectation? What's your MO? I'm just waiting. But if we hope for that we see not, then we with patience wait for it. And as part of that suffering, likewise the Spirit also helpeth for our infirmities. Our infirmities, brothers are sick in the flesh, but the Spirit helps them. So if you're really feeling sick, the best thing to do is what? Do a lesson. Read the scriptures. The scriptures help our infirmities, our sicknesses. And you've got many brothers in the truth who are dealing with infirmities, pains. Okay? For we know not what we should pray for as we ought. Sometimes you're overthinking it. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. So the Spirit, that's what maketh what? Intercession. Through what? Yeah, through the angels. So when we think, even when you're thinking about something and you're crying inside, the angels make that supplication to Yahushua. For us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts, the minds, knoweth what is in the mind of the Spirit, because Yahushua already knows your mind, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of the Most High. So Yahushua is making intercession for us. Okay, and the scriptures say, I want to get into that scripture as well. Blessed is he. How comes it didn't come up? That's... Here we go. Hold on, didn't we go into that? Oh no, I didn't read that bit. You saw same on John 20 and 29. Yahushua say unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. I should have went into that. Because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. See? Because he saw him. Which, nothing was wrong with that. But this is what Yahushua, blessed are they that have not seen. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. There's levels to faith. There's levels to faith and have not seen. Because you had those that were of a high level of faith. In other words, John the Baptist. Who do you say I am? You are the Son of the Most High. John, instantly, there was no doubt. So all the disciples, they had a different levels of faith. Okay? That's why in the transfiguration, only there was particular apostles that could go up there because of their level of faith. Okay? Different levels. Okay? Different levels. And this is what this is all about. Your faith in Yahweh Shai. Okay? And faith is going to move you to do the works. If you're not moved by if you're not moved by faith, you're not going to do the works. You're just going to be half-assed, messing about. Okay, let me see what else I can find. Since we're speaking about that, bear me just a minute. You know what? Let's continue where we were. Isaiah 26. So we're getting back now on Isaiah 26 and 9. With my whole soul I have desired thee in the night. Yeah, with my spirit within me I will seek thee early. So the hopeful, they're going to desire Yahushua in the night time. Okay. Going to be thinking, pondering upon Yahushua. Yeah, with my spirit within me I will seek thee early. So hold on a minute. This is a mindset of the hopeful elect. They're going to be seeking, and this is Isaiah speaking. I will seek thee early. So the elect, they're going to be seeking Yahushua early. Okay? They're not going to be withholding the truth. They're going to be seeking Yahushua early. Okay? Not when they want to. Early. Because that's that expectation. For when thy judgments are in the earth, and Yahushua's judgments are going to be in the earth very, very... Well, his judgments are in the earth, but it's going to be more so in the earth in when his kingdom comes. Because right now, whose judgments are already being issued out? Esau. Okay, his unfair law system. Okay. For when our judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Because what we're going to be ruling in righteousness. Okay. And with that scepter, that rod of iron. Okay. So when Yahushua makes his appearance, that's it. All bets are off. Verse 10, let favor be showed to the wicked. Yet he will not learn righteousness. Esau. It doesn't matter how much favor you try to show him. He's not going to learn righteousness because he was created to be the wicked. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. Okay. Again, his court systems and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Okay. He's not, even in his court systems, how dare you have a Bible in your court systems, but you do everything that's opposite. Okay. Lord Yahushua, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see the elect and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yeah, the fire of their enemy shall devour them. Okay. You're saying for the wicked are not going to understand. The wicked are just going to buck up. And you can also equate that to the wicked of our people on this side that want to be hard-headed. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 1. Just flow with the Spirit. 1 and 18. For behold, I have made thee this day a defense city. One of my favorite scriptures again. A defense city. A defense city's got boundaries, high walls. and an iron pillar. An iron pillar. Okay. Something that's stable. Okay. Standing, stable, in place, can't be moved out of place, and there are brazen wars against the whole land. So this is referring to Jeremiah. He was firm in his belief. He wasn't swayed with every way of doctrine. He was firm in his belief, because he had to speak up against them hard-headed Benjamites, against the kings of Judah also, and against the princes thereof and the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. So hold on a minute. He had to reprove kings. So this is why I keep saying the prophets are over the kings. There's times where this is why I'm saying when you have to make decisions. There'll be times where you have to reprove what? A king. Okay, and princes thereof and the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. And they shall fight against thee. So hold on a minute. The kings were going to be fighting against the prophets. And these were the kings that they became corrupt. And the priests that became corrupt. It says they shall fight against thee. Why? Because again, their minds became corrupted, but they shall not prevail against thee. And it's the same with the hopeful elect. No matter how much they fight against you, they're not going to prevent against us, for I am with thee. So Yahushua is with us, saith the Lord Yahushua, to deliver thee. So he's with his elect to deliver thee. No matter who fights against you, speak the words of Yahushua, fear them not. Neither be dismayed. Speak the words of Yahushua. Regardless of the feedback you may gain from men, because men are very fickle. Men lose sight. Men lose faith. Keep the faith and believe in Yahushua. And you doing that, he's going to defend you. Bear me just a minute. Another scripture comes to mind. Here we go. Proverbs 22. Bear me just a minute. I will not fear what man... Where was it? You got to fear Yahushua. A lot of men, you fear man. That's why men just go through the motions. Okay? And a lot of individuals that claim to respect the elder apostles, they don't respect the elder apostles, because when that decree was put out, nobody really paid attention to it. So it shows that level of disrespect for the elders. Okay, there's no respect of persons in this truth. Proverbs 28 and 21. Start at 19. Let's start at 18. Whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. In other words, you become corrupted in your ways. And that's why Jeremiah, he had to reprove the kings. A lot of the prophets, they had to reprove kings. Okay? Why do you think they were trying to kill him? Okay? And a faithful man shall abound with blessings. You hear that? A faithful man's going to abound with blessings. But he that maketh haste to be rich, I'm moving too fast. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread. This is equating to the truth. You can say it's physical, yeah, but it's equating to the truth. So if you're tilling your land, you're putting in that work, you're going to have plenty of bread. You're going to have plenty to eat. But he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. So if you're following after idle men that are not really about the truth but are about the world, you're going to suffer poverty. Okay, you got to labor in this truth. Okay, excuse me, my eye is itchy. Okay, a faithful man shall abound with blessings. So someone that's faithful, a faithful servant is going to abound with many blessings. But he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. Because if you're making haste to be rich in the physical, you're going to lose out in the spiritual. And this is what men do. The scriptures tell you that men have something in Matthew, we can get that. Okay, so he that hasteth to be rich shall not be innocent. Bear me just a minute. Nothing's wrong with making money. Let's quickly go into, you know, that parable in, I think it's in Matthew's. Cares of this world. Okay. Mark 4 and 19. Let's go to Mark 4 and 19. So he that hasteth to be rich, okay, shall not be innocent. Quickly grab Mark 4. Come on now. Start at 18. And these are they which are sown among the thorns, such as that hear the words. And when you see a load of thorns, you can't just walk in between them thorns. There's a blockage. And the cares of this world. Okay? And when it says the cares of this world, it's things that don't even matter. Vain things. And the deceitfulness of riches. Oh, I need to make more money. You know? The scriptures talk about being content with thy daily bread. In Matthew 6, that's a prayer. And the lust of other things. Enter into what? Your mind. Because that's what Satan wants you to be distracted. And choke the words. So now you're choked out and become unfruitful. So you become unfruitful what? In your works. Okay. So they are days that what? Fall by what? The wayside. Okay. Because they were more concerned about their life in this world. They were not concerned about Yahweh Shai. Quickly go to Timothy's. Baba Kashar. Men make 100 million excuses, but the men that make excuses, they seem to be the biggest critics on how you're doing the work. Some nerve. See if I can find it. A good soldier. Because the Lord requires us what? To be soldiers for Him. Not to make excuses. Pay me just a minute. You know what? It's in there's one in First Timothy. Then there's also another one in First Timothy's. You know what? We can go to 6. Seeing I can't find it right now. I know it's somewhere in Timothy's, but I can't find it. Give me just a minute. Seeing that we can't find it, we go to Timothy's. There's another one in Timothy's concerning money. First Timothy's 6 and 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, of destitute of faith, destitute of the truth. Okay, men become destitute when they focus on the world and worldly things. They become empty of what? Faith, truth. Supposing that gain is godliness. Our people think gain is good. If look, a carnal man, when he sees you with money or riches, he thinks that is godliness. You got men that think that's godliness. So they chase after money because they think that's godliness. No. It's just paper notes of no worth. That's not godliness. Because see, people are still carnal. For such withdraw thyself. From such withdraw. You got to withdraw yourself from men like that. Because they're covetous. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Go into that word contentment. Baba Kasha. Content. Okay. Someone that's content. Bear me just a minute. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Is an emotional state of satisfaction that can be seen as a mental state. Drawn from one being at ease with one situation, body and mind. So this is someone that's secure. Okay, a satisfaction. Because you have everything you need. A pure contentment. And guess what? People hate that. And material things don't bring you contentment. Okay? Because the more material things you got, the more you're going to be thinking about them things. So what's true contentment? The scriptures. You having the scripture, and that's it. That should be your true contentment. Because if you don't have that, people that are very insecure, they're looking for everything outside of the scriptures because they're not content. They're not sound. So it's like this world, it teaches you to chase after your tail. That's why everybody's in a rush. You just need enough. You have a daily bread, you got a roof over your head, and you're able to do this work. That's all that matters. So where was I? But godliness with contentment is great gain. That's great gain. Godliness. For we brought nothing into this world. And it says we can carry nothing out. We're not carrying nothing. And having food and raiment, let us therewith be content. So with what we got, we're content with that. And that's all that matters. We don't need all that other stuff. This truth is all we need. And this is what we live by. Okay, so with this lesson, I'll shut off here. The lesson was all over the place, but that's how the spirit is. But Lord willing, this was edifying. And until the next time, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.